Welcome to 30 AF.
Chamani, how was your honeymoon?
It was good. I peed in the Serengeti.
Can you please explain?
So, I never thought I would pee in the wild. Actually,
Right.
I had before when I was a kid, but I've never thought as an adult I would pee in the wild while there was lions and cheetahs roaming around.
Okay. Was
next
it
to me.
was
Very
it a
scary.
conscious or decision?
When you have to go, you have to go.
Okay.
And if you're in a safari, if you're gonna be on a game drive for I don't know 7 hours, you have to go. And I tried really hard to hold it in, but you know, nature calls, and I peed in the Serengeti.
Did everyone pee?
Yes,
or was it
everyone
just
had
you?
to be.
Okay,
Well,
good. That's
let me
not that bad.
elaborate a little
Okay.
further. So, for those that don't know, I recently went on my honeymoon with my husband, and this was a long, like overdue honeymoon because we got married 1.5 years ago. So we planned with an agent. So an agent organized the entire kind of itinerary, because it's actually very difficult to know exactly where to go, how to fly into a certain area, and like what sort of accommodation to stay in. So for us, we spoke to Wild Senses, which is a Hong Kong based agent, and they take care of all the tours around Africa. And we told them we really want to go to the Serengeti,
Okay.
because we want to see the Great Migration.
Okay.
And that is in Tanzania.
Okay.
It is a savanna, so it's open field. You're in a vehicle like a jeep, open jeep, and it's a national park. It's a conservation park, so there are no toilets. And everyone just has to do it behind a vehicle.
Okay.
Yeah. And the funny thing is, this is peak time,
Right.
because the Great Migration is happening.
Right.
So the Great Migration is when the wildebeest and the zebras cross rivers in order to get to a place, or like normally it's North Tanzania where there's more food and more water. It's just following the climate. And so because it's peak traffic, there's so many people in Tanzania right now looking at animals. There's a lot of jeeps, and there's a lot of people peeing behind jeeps.
Oh my god, that's so funny.
So then I asked my ranger, my guide, I'm like, how do you make sure people don't look at each other? He's like, well, every ranger, when they see a car coming from their direction, they'll try and do the blinkers to tell the other side that someone's peeing right now. And they'll try and find a tree so that your back is
hidden.
a tree. Yeah,
Right.
you're hidden.
So you're not like I'm imagining you're butt naked in the middle of a safari.
It's very breezy.
Like
It's
all
super-
the animals are migrating and just Chamani butt naked there in the middle.
It's super breezy.
And everyone's taking photos.
Yeah.
Just don't take a photo of my
Yeah,
ass.
exactly. Please don't look at my bare ass. But the most hilarious story was, so the ranger has a radio, and whenever there's an animal nearby, so let's just say there's a lion nearby, they'll radio a walkie-talkie the other guides, so everyone kind of drives to one place.
Right.
So we're helping each other spot animals. So at this one point during the afternoon, someone told us there's a cheetah. And we're like, okay, let's drive.
Right.
So everyone's like, you can imagine like F1 driving, but Jeep style in bush, in like, you know,
my god.
it's kind of like dusty.
And it's like, and it's open, right?
Open. Everyone's got their safari hats on. We're driving really fast, trying to spot this cheetah. And the poor lady in front of us, in front of the cheetah, decided to pee, because I think they thought that it was, as in like they didn't know the cheetah was around. And they were on the side, on the right-hand side, on the way to the cheetah. And she so happened to be peeing. And the husband, like, ran out of the car and was like, oh my god, and trying to cover her up. Yeah. But yeah, that was really embarrassing.
That is so
And I was
funny.
like, I do not want to be her.
Oh my god. So you peed at the right time.
I
You
did
chose the right time.
I
and the
told
right
the
place.
guy, I'm like, you need to find a tree for me, or I'm not comfortable.
Yeah. It's so funny.
It's such a good experience.
But
though.
I mean, it sounds like that's how everyone
That's what it
manages
used to
the
be.
situation.
Yeah,
right?
that's what it used to be,
Yeah.
I guess, back in the days. And it would be the most environmentally friendly thing
It
to
actually
do, to
is.
be honest,
Yeah.
instead of constructing a portaloo.
Imagine, it wouldn't look good.
It wouldn't look
with a
good.
portaloo
And it's a Serengeti. It's like this beautiful natural place. And then there's probably lions about to, like, you know, wrangle that portaloo.
Boris would freak the fuck out. Like, he's already so scared about all the animals, the wild animals.
The animals were great though. There were tons of zebras and wildebeest, tons of giraffes. They were beautiful, and elephants, the Maasai elephants. So they're a Maasai African elephant because of their ears. It's the shape of Africa.
Oh, that's
so beautiful.
That's so cute.
Yeah.
Okay. I think you can do like a whole series on like animals.
I know. Honestly, afterwards, I've opened my eyes to nature, conservation of animals, because there's animals that are going extinct because of poachers. There's also animals that are orphaned because of climate change.
Yeah.
So there's so many issues. I remember this one moment when I was about to board back to Hong Kong, and I thought to myself, I really need to help them. And I went online and I found this rhino called Cham.
Oh.
And I saw that he was an orphan,
right?
And his race is pretty much going extinct. Like his species is going extinct. So I adopted him for 2 years.
Oh,
yeah.
How do you? So you basically support, like the expenses.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
Okay.
So you can actually go on. I think that particular organization is called Sheldridge Trust.
Okay.
And they're based in Nairobi or Kenya, and they take care of elephants, rhinos. There's rangers who are taking care of these animals, and they need funding. So you can actually foster or adopt an animal. You can actually adopt animals for other people.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you get monthly videos, you get newsletters on how Cham is doing.
Oh.
I can't wait to find.
So you have like a little baby.
I have a little baby that I'm adopted.
Yeah.
A rhino in Kenya.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's so awesome.
Yeah.
It's like once in a lifetime trip, because with climate change, it's going to be really hard nowadays to see the Great Migration. I think it's a great thing to do, to visit Tanzania when you still can and see the animals, but also knowing that you're contributing to the government or the industry who's trying to boost tourism and get people into more jobs. But the most crucial thing is that I do think that this tourism industry is actually trying their best to be non-disruptive to the animals. They're trying their best to be very sustainable. Every camp we went to were all very sustainable camps. They're giving us portable bottles, so we were just refilling our bottles every time, no plastic.
Right.
And the food, they were just sourcing it from nearby
local farms.
Wow. So I just thought that even though that this could have been a very disruptive industry, but they're trying their best to actually make it more sustainable for the environment.
That's great. What was the schedule like every day? So you were gone for 2 weeks,
I was gone for 2 weeks. It is a crazy flight in order to get yourself to Tanzania.
Where did you have to fly to?
We went from Hong Kong to Doha.
Okay.
And Doha, Boris decided to spend a day there because he was like, we're transiting anyway, let's go to the desert. So we went to a desert tour, like we rode a camel, like we just did the whole shebang, which I loved it, but I was pretty tired by the time I got on the flight. Then from Doha, we flew to Kilimanjaro. Okay. So we flew Qatar
How long is the flight?
I think it's Doha? 6 hours.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So Hong Kong Doha is around 8, right?
Yeah.
And then
6. Transit for we did like 12 hours, and then took a whole day.
Okay.
And then once we went to Kilimanjaro, we then had to take a small plane, like a 10-person plane, Kilimanjaro to a place called Serengetti Airport or something. So it's a small airport.
Right.
And then we spent 2 days in Ngorongoro Crater. So Ngorongoro Crater, for those that don't know, was an active volcano 3 million years ago.
Oh.
And after it erupted, it created what they call a crater. So it's kind of like an indent, a crater, right? So a lot of animals are now in that crater and they don't leave. So they have everything they need inside that crater.
How deep is the crater? Like...
I have actually no idea, but it's really wide. So it's a humongous space.
Okay.
It spans...
So they already have like a whole ecosystem.
They have a little ecosystem. And I think that's what's really special about the crater, is because there's an entire circle of life inside that crater. You have water, food, and everything that an animal needs, so they never leave.
It's like they have a little protection.
Yeah, they have a little protection inside that crater.
Okay.
It's a very special place because there's one tribe that still lives there called the Maasai tribe. I don't know if you've heard of them. They are native to, this is their homeland, the crater area. So they used to live inside the crater, like in the middle, and they used to live with the lions and live with, you know, the leopards and the cheetahs. And it's crazy. They still live in that kind of culture. But then the government recently, last few years, decided to move them outside to the rim of the crater. So now they live there. And we visited the tribe and met the people, and very eye-opening experience. I don't know how to describe it.
Where did you actually stay?
We stayed at 3 accommodations. One's called Gibbs Farm.
Okay.
It is around 30 minutes away from the crater, and it's their own sustainable farm.
I love it.
I loved it so much.
I saw your story.
It was
like,
beautiful.
Oh,
you would have loved it.
I know.
It was beautiful because it was first a farm. It was first a coffee farm, started by the Gibbs family. They were from the UK, I think. And then the coffee farm then became a farm where they wanted to start harvesting their own food and vegetables. And then not long after that, they were like, okay, why don't we have a lodge? So then it was first a farm, then a lodge. And then because of, I think the Tanzanian government passed a rule where you can only own one business. This was back in the days.
Wow. Okay.
They had to give up the coffee farm, and they could only have the lodge. And the farm, they don't, you know, outsource it to anyone else. The farm sustains the people living in the lodge and the people that work there. It's a beautiful place, and the food was outstanding. I highly recommend it. And then after Gibbs Farm, we went to a place called, we were in central Serengeti, and we stayed at Lamala. Another beautiful, like, it's glamping. It's tents that are constructed inside the Serengeti. You have to get a government, I think you need to get a park permit in order to do that, and there's a lot of regulations around it. But you can stay inside the Serengeti, but you're protected by, so they actually employed people from the Maasai tribe. These are the people that, you know, live with lions.
Right. That is crazy.
Animals. So they actually escorted us every day from our tent to the dining area. And they were just Maasai men holding spears. And we would call them.
Oh my god.
We're like, we're ready. And they'll come up and they're like, okay, let's go. And they would just walk us to.
Wow.
And every night I would ask them, actually every morning I would ask them, you know, what animal came by during the night. They're like, oh, we saw some lions come by. Some giraffes came by.
Do you feel like you're in danger?
Not at all.
Really?
I felt super protected.
That's great.
Yeah, because everyone knew what was going on. Everyone was they were local, they were from the area.
Right.
I had like the Maasai men protecting me.
I've seen too many YouTube videos of like aggressive animals.
Yes.
So I think that's just in the back of my mind. But,
I know, yeah. I thought that too. And then I spoke to the ranger, and he was like, the reason why animals would attack you is because you're in their space. Imagine me going to your house and like trying to steal your things or like look at you from afar. Yeah. Like you would be mad too. So I think the reason why that happens in that case is because we're in their space. He was telling me that there are some guides who are not from the area, and they create their own agency.
I see.
And then they
just don't understand the ecosystem.
They don't understand. Yeah, and they start being really aggressive, and they want to get that photo, for example.
Yeah.
So he said, make sure you work with
find the right people. Okay.
I realized that lions are, obviously we all know the lion is the king of the land.
The apex, right?
Yeah, the apex. Yeah. So in their point of view, they don't care. They think that
there's an apex predator. They're like, I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah, exactly. So when the car was kind of really close to them, they just flipped on their belly. Like, they don't care. Oh. They were not scared of anyone. Wow. And they were just walking where they like. They even walked to us. We're like, why are you so close to us?
He's like, well, you're in my space, so I get to roam around.
He's like, this is my land. Yeah. Like, I can do whatever. So they were just walking next to the car. Right. Like, they didn't care. They were like, you're I guess in my way.
Yeah. What was this thing that you wanted to see the most?
I'm such a simple person. I just wanted to see a giraffe.
Oh, really? Yes.
And my wish was granted like on day one. Like it was
I saw it. I saw it.
I kept seeing it for the next like 7 days.
Yeah.
While Boris really wanted to see a leopard, and he only saw it on the last day.
Okay, he still got it.
He still got it. It was
Love
the
it.
last moment before we went to the airport to leave. It was really tough to get out of Tanzania to get to Cape Town, because our last stop was South Africa and Cape Town, because South African Airways went bust.
What?
Yeah, they don't have a national airline anymore. So we had to go backwards. We had to, first of all, we went to Kilimanjaro again, and then from Kilimanjaro we had to take Ethiopian Airways to Ethiopia, and then we transited for a night at an in-airport hotel inside Ethiopia.
Wow.
In Addis Ababa airport. Apparently it's the biggest
I
African
love
airline
the
nowadays.
names.
Yeah, and then we were there for a night. It was actually really clean.
Yeah.
Highly, I mean, if you have to, Addis Ababa airport,
Yeah.
in-house Skyline airport is not, I mean, hotel is not bad. And then we took the next flight to Cape Town, and we
Did you stay in Cape Town?
stayed in Cape Town for 4 days.
Okay.
It was, yeah,
What was
city
it
life.
like?
Cape Town is beautiful. It
I've
reminds
never
me
been.
of Sydney.
Oh.
And Melbourne. It's got that great ocean drive to the Cape.
Right.
And I think it's beautiful. It has definitely a situation going on where you do feel a little unsafe when you go downtown.
Really?
There's a big black and white divide. There are areas where it is, I think they call it townships, where there are primarily the black majority will live there, while there's areas that are for the white majority, and they live inside compounds, super protected.
Very,
by
very.
security. And it's a bit divided.
Yeah.
Because if you think about it, like for, I don't know, Australia, America, you kind of live in between.
Yeah, there's
each
those.
other, right?
Yeah.
Kind of more. I mean, there are some divides, some areas, but it's a bit more. I guess it's more integrated.
Yes.
But in South Africa and Cape Town, it was kind of like a clear division.
Oh. So did you stay in the white people area?
Yeah, we stayed in. It was still downtown. It was on Kloof Street.
Yeah.
And it was just a nice hotel. But I think be careful when you're in South Africa.
Course.
I definitely felt, unsafe.
So you were safer in the safari.
I was actually safer in Safari. And I think the African hospitality in general across Tanzania, South Africa is unbeatable.
Because they're so passionate. Like the
They make
people
you-
there.
They make you feel like your family and your home.
Yeah.
The hospitality is unrivaled. Like I've never felt so taken care of and made. It's so personal.
Amazing. Yeah.
Like it comes from the heart. So I think African hospitality, there's something to learn from there.
Wow.
Yeah. So I still really miss the people I met there.
Oh.
They honestly.
Is this a place where you will go back in the future?
I think so. Boris and I are already talking about like one day going there with our kids. There were people that were there. They're older than us, and they go back every year. They're American. They go back every year. Their families that go back, and they spend months just traveling around Africa. And I mean, it's just so nice to be within nature. And
it's just so different to what we face on a daily basis, and it's just eye-opening. Right?
It's eye-opening.
It kind of reminds you that, hey, that's all actually what I need to. Sometimes when you're just too stressed or overwhelmed,
stressed out, you do too many things in one day, and you realize, okay,
I just need to sleep like 8.
Yeah, and I should be happy with those 3 things.
Yeah.
And that's what an animal is happy with.
Yeah.
And then you see them so happy. Yeah. I don't think we could have done this crazy flight journey anything with kids, so this is a perfect time to do it.
Yeah. Is 2 weeks enough, or would
2
you
weeks
have stayed longer?
I think 2 weeks is enough for a honeymoon.
Okay. So you were just hopping into different safaris, right? Every day?
Every 2 days, we were in a different camp.
Okay.
In a different area of Tanzania.
Right, because you want to see different animals.
We actually saw the same animals,
Okay.
but we saw them in different environments.
I see. Okay.
One was inside a crater where they have their own ecosystem. The second one was in a savanna, like central Tanzania, is plains and plains.
Yeah.
And then the third one was northern Tanzania, where it was there was differences in climate. There was rocks and there's hills and mountains. It was a little bit more
just different habitations.
Yes.
Right. And you get to see how they live.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is this the peak season to go?
This is the peak season to go. Yeah, I think a lot of people do skip central Tanzania because it's just plains.
Right.
So you're driving quite a bit to
I mean,
see
6-7 hour drive.
Yeah,
it's insane.
It's actually crazy.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, if I was to recommend, instead of doing the whole Tanzania kind of tour, you could either pick Ngorongoro Crater or you can go straight to northern Tanzania.
Okay.
And just do the Serengeti experience.
Right.
And you'll see the Great Migration there.
Beautiful.
And that's my story of peeing in the Serengeti.
I love it. It's with nature.
Yeah. Hope you guys liked it. And
we'll catch you soon.
See you later. Bye.